Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately, especially the NFC East, you know that things are heating up in a way that could redefine the division, and honestly, change the entire trajectory for the Washington Commanders. There's a buzz, a rumor swirling that's hard to ignore, and it's about Christian McCaffrey, yes, the superstar running back from the San Francisco 49ers, potentially heading to our beloved Commanders. If this turns out to be true, it's not just a minor move. It's a statement, a signal that Washington is serious about competing at the highest level once again. But let's take a step back, because this is a story that's more complex than just a simple trade rumor. It's about strategic moves, team rebuilding, and the quest to finally break through in a division that's been dominated by the Eagles and the Cowboys in recent years. First, let's talk about the 49ers. They've been a powerhouse, a team that's been in the championship conversation for the past few seasons. San Francisco, under Kyle Shanahan, has built an offense that's dynamic, versatile, and hard to stop. Christian McCaffrey has been a huge part of that success, when healthy. Last year, however, things didn't go as planned for the 49ers. Their record dropped to 6-11, a huge disappointment considering their talent and expectations. Injuries played a significant role, and the team just couldn't find the consistency they needed. Christian McCaffrey, who's just 29 now, has been a key player when healthy, but his injury history is well documented. That's part of what's making some fans and analysts wonder, are the 49ers contemplating a rebuild? Could they be looking to shed some big contracts and draft picks to reset their roster and focus on the future? And here's the interesting part. If the 49ers are considering a rebuild, they'd likely be open to trading some of their star players, especially those with injury concerns or that might be approaching the end of their prime. McCaffrey fits that profile perfectly. But the question is, what would the return be? And more importantly, would the Commanders be interested? Well, according to the latest rumors, a trade scenario has been floated that's pretty intriguing. Imagine Washington acquiring Christian McCaffrey in exchange for a couple of draft picks, say a 2026 third-rounder, a fifth-rounder, and maybe a 2027 fourth-rounder. Sounds like a deal that benefits both sides, right? The 49ers get some draft capital to rebuild or reload, and the Commanders get an offensive weapon that could transform their rushing attack and overall offensive strategy. Now, let's analyze this from the Commanders' perspective. Why would this make sense? Well, for starters, Washington has been in search of a true game-changer on offense for quite some time. We've seen flashes of potential from players like Brian Robinson Jr., and the rookie season of quarterback Jaden Daniels showed promise. But what the team really needs is a playmaker with the versatility to do it all. McCaffrey is that guy. When he's healthy, he's arguably one of the best offensive weapons in the entire league. Last year, he rushed for 459 yards and scored 14 touchdowns, adding 83 catches for over 560 yards. That kind of production can elevate any offense, and for a team like Washington, which is building around a young, talented quarterback, having a player like McCaffrey could be a catalyst for a serious leap forward. And it's not just about the offensive production. It's about the message it sends to the division and the league. The Commanders are serious about competing. They're ready to spend on the right players and make bold moves to position themselves as contenders. With McCaffrey in the backfield, paired with Jaden Daniels, this offense could become one of the most lethal in the NFL. Think about it, an offensive line that's improving, a young quarterback gaining confidence, and a star running back who can do it all, catch passes out of the backfield, run between the tackles, and break off explosive plays. That's a recipe for success. Plus, with the NFC East being so competitive, having a weapon like McCaffrey could be the difference maker in close games, especially late in the season. Now some might argue, but wait, he's 29 years old, and his injury history is a concern. That's true, but you have to look at the context. If McCaffrey remains healthy, he's still at an elite level. We saw that in 2023, when he ran for nearly 460 yards and scored 14 rushing touchdowns, along with his receiving numbers. That kind of production is rare. Plus, in today's NFL, a player like McCaffrey can be a multidimensional threat that defenses have to game plan for. He's not just a running back. He's a weapon who can line up in the slot, run routes, and make plays in space. For Washington, adding him to the mix would instantly boost their odds of making a deep playoff run. But what about the 49ers? Why would they consider trading such a valuable player? Well, if they're indeed contemplating a rebuild, they might see this as an opportunity to gather draft capital, especially if they're uncertain about their long-term roster health and the durability of their stars. The NFL is a league where teams often have to make tough decisions. Sometimes trading a star for future assets makes more sense than holding on and risking more injuries or a decline in performance. Plus, with the 49ers having a strong core of young talent, like their young quarterback and emerging defensive stars, they might prefer to reset now rather than face a longer rebuild later. And let's not forget the NFC landscape. The Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, and even teams like the Lions are all making moves, improving their rosters, and positioning themselves for big playoff pushes. For the Commanders, making a move like this isn't just about adding a star. It's about signaling to the division that they're ready to contend, that they're not just rebuilding, they're reloading. And with the right pieces, especially on offense, this team could be a dark horse in the NFC. Now, some fans might be wondering, what's the realistic chance of this happening? Well, as of now, there's no official confirmation from either team. These are just rumors and speculation based on the current state of both rosters, salary cap considerations, and the strategic needs of each franchise. But if history has taught us anything, the NFL is a league where surprises are the norm, and bold moves often come out of nowhere. Remember when teams like the Rams acquired stars late in the summer, or when the Chiefs traded for key players right before the season started? That's the kind of environment we're talking about. And the Commanders, with their newfound ambition and the right management, might just be players in that game. Looking ahead, if this trade goes through, it could redefine the NFC East's balance of power. The Eagles, who have dominated the division the past couple of years, might find themselves facing an even more formidable opponent in Washington. The Cowboys would have to adjust their game plan to contain a revamped Commanders offense featuring McCaffrey. And for the fans, it's exciting. Imagine the possibilities, the highlight reel plays, the matchup nightmares. It's a scenario that could elevate the entire division and push each team to new heights. Of course, it's not just about the trade. It's about the vision that the Commanders are building. They've shown a willingness to be aggressive, to spend wisely, and to pursue players who can make an immediate impact. With a young quarterback like Jaden Daniels, who showed great promise in his rookie season, having a veteran playmaker like Christian McCaffrey could help accelerate that development. It's about winning now, but also about setting the foundation for sustained success in the future. So what's next? Well, we'll be keeping a close eye on any official updates, rumors, or reports that might shed light on this potential blockbuster. But for now, it's fun to imagine the possibilities. The NFL offseason is notorious for surprises, and this could very well be one of the biggest stories of the summer, especially for Washington Commanders fans eager to see their team take that next step. Whether or not it materializes, it's clear that the team is thinking big, and that's a good sign for all of us who root for the burgundy and gold. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think a trade for Christian McCaffrey makes sense? Would you be excited to see him in the burgundy and gold? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more insider info, and all the latest news about the Washington Commanders. Stay tuned, because this offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and we're here to bring you every detail. Thanks for being with us, and as always, go Commanders.